Parshat Balak is one of the most outstanding parashot in the Torah because none of it we've witnessed as a nation. All the other events that take place in the desert, whether it was the Epic of Sinai, whether it was the manna coming from heaven for 40 years, we all witnessed it. All these events we've witnessed. But Parshat Balak takes place in a scenario where we didn't see anything. It all takes place somewhere else, in another country, in other people's thought processes. But nevertheless, God transcribed it and gave it over to Moses exactly what took place, what was the intentions. And here is one of the fascinating lessons. Based upon the Talmud, it tells us a concept. בדרך שאדם רוצה ללכת, מוליכין אותו. In a path that a person wants to take, you will receive divine intervention to be successful in that specific path. Now, where do we see that? From the story of Bilam. God tells him, don't go curse the Jewish people. And he persists. And he goes again. And he violates. And God says, if that's what you really want to do, go ahead. But you will say what I tell you. And at the end of the day, he stands in front of the mountain with the intention to curse. And he can't curse. He could only bless us. And the blessing is known to all. But here the Talmud shares with us this fascinating insight that God will be there to help you out in any endeavor that you wish to persist and become part of. And it brings us a story in the Midrash like this. Once upon a time, there was a family, had a father that was drunk. They were scared that the father was going to waste all their money. So they decided, let's pull a prank on dad. Well, not such a fun prank, but that's what they decided to do. Don't recommend this. Don't do this at home. While the father was in a stupor, totally drunk, laying in bed, they picked up the bed and they brought him to a cemetery. They put him into the cemetery. And he's laying and sleeping the night in the cemetery. They decided, the family, this is our form of intervention, and we're going to change our father's habits. When he wakes up in the morning in the cemetery, he's going to realize there's nothing's around. I'm alive, I'm dead, I don't know what's going on. And he's going to say, out of shock, I can't drink no more. How did I get here? But that didn't really happen. You see, the father really wanted to be a drunk, and he wanted to remain a drunk. That night, as the people of the towns were bringing in their products for the morning sale in the open market, they realized that everyone that had black market items, that they would be challenged because the officials who came to check all the products. And they decided, instead of bringing it all the way back home, let's hide it. Where are we going to hide it? Well, some of the people had a lot of liquor, and they decided, let's go hide it in the cemetery. So they went to the cemetery, and they hid all the booze next to this man. The man wakes up in the morning, he goes like this. Whoa, there's no wood, I'm alive, I'm happy. Looks to his left, and he sees all these kegs of beer and all various types of scotch and whiskeys and bourbons and wines, and he says, wow, I must be in heaven. And he leans his head, tilts under the cork, and he starts to drink. And the best way to fight a hangover is get drunk again. And he gets drunk again and again and again. 3 days later, the children say, it's been a long time, we don't know what's with dad. Let's go ahead and check him out. They go to the cemetery, they see all this booze and see him laying in a bed, and they realize, you know what? This is God's world. We can't change the man. That's the mashal. That's the parable. The lesson that we have is Bilam was given a gift. He had prophecy, the greatest prophet of all of humanity, greater than Moses according to the Talmud. And he took that gift, and what did he do with it? He just wanted to make some money. This man was granted life. It's a gift. All he wanted to do is be a drunk. But you know what? God facilitates your ambitions. Whatever you want to be, you can be. God will help you out. Our choices in life is, what do we want to be? What is our successes? How do we want to change the world? How do we want to enhance the world? How do we want to enhance our lives? How do we want to take care of our families, our children, our wives, our loved ones? How do we want to live life? Because whatever we wish to do, we will be successful at. That's the lesson of Bilam. An entire portion written by God himself, because there's no way for us to know this lesson if not for God telling us. And he told us in absolute clarity, I will help you out in your ambitions. Pick good ambitions. You can become a prophet, but to just want to make money? It's not the ambitions. You want liquor? Being a drunk? It's not great. Whatever you want, and to all those out there in the world, you can be whatever you want to be, and God will help you out. Pick a good decision. Shabbat Shalom.